and I am a gay male. I feel like my choice was taken because of a traumatic experience that happened when I was younger. So, long story short, I did not know I was supposed to be married to a female until after I had already been being molested by my brother and
What's your
his.
first name?
My first name, Quadero.
Quadero. So you had a traumatic experience being molested when you were a kid by another male, correct?
Yes, by my brother and his friends. Yes.
By your brother and his friends? How many of his friends are we talking about?
Uh, 4 was the most I think I remember.
How old were you when this started?
8,
How old was your brother when it started?
12.
Okay. And who was living in the household at the time? You, your brother, and who else?
My sister, older sister, younger brother, and at that time, my mother and her abusive boyfriend.
So when you say abusive boyfriend, he wasn't sexually abusing you. That was left to your brother, right?
My been physically abused us.
So your stepdad was physically abusing you. At the same time, your brother was sexually abusing you? How long did the sexual abuse go on?
Till I was 15.
So from 8 to 15, you were sexually abused by your brother. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mhm.
What was your brother's first name that was doing this? Rather not say? If you could send a message to your brother, what would you say to him now?
Same rules applies. I don't fuck with you, fucker. Don't talk to me.
Okay.
I forgive you, but that does not mean that I have to have a relationship with you. I helped raise your 3 beautiful daughters. Now one of them has made you a grandfather.
So after this guy, your brother, was abusing you in that way, you helped him raise his kids.
No, I helped the baby's mother raise the kids. He
Oh,
was in
okay.
prison.
He's in prison.
Yeah, he was in prison for most of their lives. Yes,
He was in prison for what?
he was for most of his children's lives. He was in prison.
What's he in prison for?
Theft. Oh, usually theft.
Did he get in trouble for what he did to you?
Nope.
Okay. Would you like to have seen him get in trouble for what he did to you?
I don't think it would have been enough.
So you think that had an impact on your turning out to be a homosexual male, is that correct?
Mhm.
The abuse you suffered when
Very
you were
much
young.
so. Because the first dream, before I ever wanted to be a wrestler, before I wanted to be a doctor or a preacher, my first dream that I can ever remember was being a loving father and a devoted husband. I always dreamed of that white picket fence life. I felt like that dream was taken from me because of all that.
Okay, so it wasn't at the time, was it traumatic or did it feel good in some twisted way what he was doing to
It
you?
was traumatic.
It was traumatic.
You wake up every day, that doesn't go away. People think like even like now I can tell this story because now I'm no longer a victim, I'm a survivor. My life when I was living as a victim was terrible, and I'm shocked that I'm still alive.
What,
I've ingested more alcohol and more drugs than that should be physically possible by a child at that time. I was a child at that time.
so you started at how old using
I
drugs?
started drinking at 12.
At 12. So while we're still being abused sexually by your brother and abused
That's what
physically by
started
your stepdad,
that's what started the
you started
drinking.
drinking alcohol.
Mhm.
Okay. Where'd you get your first drink?
New Year's Eve. we went to this girl Jessica's house, and she got into her mom's liquor, and we started drinking. I just
So
never
it was a
stopped.
bunch of kids on New Year's Eve. Their parents probably thought they were at a friend's house with some parents
No, the
watching.
parents were there.
The parents were there. Did they know you were drinking the alcohol?
No.
So this girl snuck into her parents' liquor cabinet and drank some of her parents' alcohol, and was it like no looking back, or did you start drinking consistently, frequently after that, or did you take a break after that first drink?
No, hell no. I drank almost every day from 12 to 15 when I got the bleeding ulcers. I was a functioning alcoholic while going through school and passing. and all without my parents ever knowing. The only reason they found out is because I got bleeding ulcers.
Okay. What other drugs or substances have you done?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
You like cocaine?
Oh man, I can't do cocaine.
Opiates? What was your
Oh
drug of
no,
choice?
never no opiates. Hell no. Opiates is the only thing I refuse to ever do.
So, being gay, do you still find yourself attracted to females too, or
Hell yeah, they're
strictly?
gorgeous.
Do you want to have sex with hot
No,
females?
no, that's not as far as it goes. They're very gorgeous, but they just don't do it for me anymore. I think it's more the nerves because it's. Let's see, my daughter is. It's been 13 years. 13 years since I've been with a female. So now it's more nerves than anything. So I was like, eh.
So you have a daughter,
Hmm?
13-year-old daughter. Where does she live?
Hudson.
Does she live with your baby mama?
Nope.
Who does she live with?
She's with the foster family now.
Do you ever get to stay in touch with her?
No, because I didn't find out she was my daughter until the adoption process was already started.
Are you sure she's your daughter at this point?
Yep.
If she happens to see this video, what would you like to say to your daughter just in case she ever sees it? What message would you send to your daughter?
The last words I said to my daughter before I had to walk out of her life was, Daddy loves you, and Daddy still loves you. Daddy will always love you. Daddy will always miss you. And if at any chance you want to know why your mom and I weren't ever together, or why I never was able to get you myself, then you come find me.
Would you like to give a phone number?
727
727
439
439
8223.
8223. So is that a Google Voice number or?
No, it's a phone. It's a
Okay. Did you
Verizon.
just buy a phone at Walmart? I see a phone there.
Yeah, somebody stole my phone last night.
Are you getting kind of emotional?
Yes. Yes, I miss my daughter every day.
So you don't have a right to, if
I'm
you
not on the birth certificate or anything.
if you contacted her, well, do her foster parents believe or know
They don't.
that?
I don't even know if they know about me.
Do you think you would like to contact them at some point and say, "Listen, I'm this young lady's biological father, and I'd like to have some contact with her." You think you might want to do that at some point?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole reason for the spiritual growth that I'm going through now. It's because there's got to be some, even though I would not uproot her from a good family, I just want her to know her other family who miss and love her. And she's never going to get a chance to know me, but I know she remembers me. And I'm sorry about your mom.
What's up with her mom?
Brittany never wanted kids. She never wanted kids.
But you did.
We were never together. I told you, man, I've had one hell of a life. Oh, Brittany decided to take it upon herself to climb on top of a drunk, passed out Mark. That's why I never found out that it was my daughter. I was Brittany's best friend, so when we were looking for who the possible chance that could be the dad, I wasn't even on the list.
She didn't tell you, "Hey, we had."
No, her mom told me. Her mom ended up telling me.
You really don't remember the sexual experience with her
I
mom?
was passed out drunk. When I used to drink.
But you did conceive with her.
Hell no, I didn't even know about it. I didn't know about it until I found out.
You unknowingly conceived a child with this lady. That's pretty wild.
Well, I also didn't know it was my child. I was her godfather until she was 12 when I found out. She always called me Uncle Mark. As soon as she found out, Uncle Mark was out the door and, hey, everybody, this is my dad.
So she was introducing you as her dad.
When she found out, she stopped calling me Uncle Mark, and I became dad.
That's a very interesting story. I might restart this interview and have you tell just that story on a.
I actually have to get on the bus.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. All right.
Thank you.